Welcome back to the No Comfort Zone. This is Dan Brzezowski, the host of the No Comfort Zone. If you have a story of adversity, whether you're getting ready to get into it, whether you're right smack dab in the middle of it, or you've gotten out of it and you're finding success, I would love to hear about your story. Go to dan@thenocomfortzone.com. We can start a conversation there. Just email me. I've got a story, and we can go from there. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to take your story, put it on this platform, and share it with the 27,000 subscribers that I have so that we can actually maybe help a few people in the process, because that's what it's all about. Welcome to the No Comfort Zone. I'll see you on the inside.
Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
What happens after you have had a ton of adversity in your life? What happens? I want to ask you this. I want you to hit me up, dan@thenocomfortzone.com. What do you do after you've hit a bunch of adversity, or comment in the comment section? After a bunch of adversity, you get gun shy, you get shell shock, you get afraid of your own shadow, you walk on eggshells, you end up walking in adversity. In average. After all that adversity, you walk in average, and you don't risk as much anymore. And the reason I say that is you cling to security. And heaven forbid if you have kids, because all the adversity that you've struggled through in your life, you might not want that for them. So you try to protect them by teaching them to become average, safe, secure. Find a safe and secure career. Find a safe and secure woman. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just want to let you know that if you have ambitions and goals, I really want you to think outside of the box. I want you to think, if you knew you couldn't fail, what could you do? Because I don't want you clinging to security. I don't. I know that I did. I did for a few years. After all of the adversity, after the bankruptcies, the divorces, the loneliness, the homelessness, being broke, being dead ass broke, and even no one knew what was going on at the time. Nobody knew how desperate I was. That quiet desperation, just hanging on for another day just to see if it's going to work out. And then finally losing all hope and being like, the only reason I'm sticking around is for my kids. What a terrible way to live. And then you realize, I'm going to go find some safety. I'm going to find an easy job. I'm going to take the easy way. I'm just going to, I'm going to stay under the radar, which is what I've been telling my son lately when it comes to getting in trouble. Normal stuff at school. Just stay under the radar. Have fun, but don't get caught doing stupid stuff like talking up in class and all that. Don't be that guy. Don't be getting caught for everything. I'm not saying be a bad kid, and that's not what this podcast is about. I'm going off on a different direction. Didn't mean to do that. But you really don't want to be the center of attention. But you also want to be, do, and have more. And quite frankly, there's too many people out there that, just to put it out, you're just afraid of your own shadow. You've had some adversity. You don't want to risk it anymore. You're letting this person tell you what to do. You're letting your spouse direct your attention. I know, because I've talked to you. Some of you are afraid to do anything in your life because of what other people may think, and they're very close to you and you respect them. But at the end of the day, you have one life to live. Take care of the life you have by risking just a little bit more to get yourself out there. I think there's a huge benefit to it. I think it's a risk reward. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? Somebody told me that a long time ago. It was probably at a Tony Robbins seminar. And when I finally heard that and I took advantage of it, I did some crazy things in my life. My brother always told me, you always seem to land on your feet. Well, until I didn't land on my feet, and then I had adversity, and that sucked. But if somebody's going to go through adversity, I'm going to guide you through it. You're going to look for there's greatness in adversity. I'm telling you right now. It's the diamonds in the rough are when the adversity strikes and you can keep moving forward. So when you get lots of adversity and you start clinging to security, the whole thing is, what goals do you have? I keep talking about live on purpose, no comfort zone, live on purpose. For me, for where I'm at, I'm in a no comfort zone constantly. Some people would call it chaos, but I really do try to get out of this comfort zone every day, all the time. I find myself in these different opportunities where if I take the easy way out, it's going to be this. But if I persevere and I just dig in with a little determination, I'm going to have success. It's not the easy way, but it's definitely the no comfort zone. Listen, I've been communicating for 30 years and teaching people how to be persuasive. I could pretty much, I think, talk my way out of most everything. I can't tell you the number of people said to me that, Dan, you should be a lawyer with that mouth of yours. A compliment, insult, I don't care. I know that I could talk or get myself out of certain things, but I know this. I know that doing the right thing at the right time, whenever that is important because I know the next right thing is going to happen. I have true experience in that. You just have to have a good attitude about it, a grateful attitude about it, that this adversity, you know what, is going to pass soon. And what am I going to learn and what greatness is on the outside of this? You can't live in shit forever. You just can't. And you can't live in greatness forever either. There's ups and there's downs. That's life. But living on purpose, that's a different story. It's been said, and I got this, I think, from Pastor Rick. I think it comes from the Bible. Pardon me, you know me. I don't quote everything exactly. But only a fool would wander around aimlessly. When I heard that today in reading this day 4 of The Purpose-Driven Life, it kind of hit home to me because I was traveling aimlessly for a long time. I was going by the opinions of others, thinking that was success. But in my heart of hearts, I realized that what's true for me? What are my values? And I didn't have any. I had my father's values, but I didn't have my own. I didn't live. When I finally lived is when I realized these are the important things to me. Being honest, following through in your commitments, being disciplined. Those were things that were kind of cliche, but I wasn't living them. Being a rock solid man, a person that people can count on. That's really important to me. That's how I identify myself, that people can count on me. I do consider myself, if you're close to me, to be a very good friend. Now, the older you get, the fewer friends you have. But on the other note, there's other people like, why can't you just help me? Why can't I help you? Because there's so much gift in the adversity. When you see it from my point of view, it would be ridiculous for me to come in there and pull you out of that. In sales training, I talk about empathy and sympathy. Sympathy is, man, listen, you're in a hole. I'm going to jump down in there and see exactly how you are. Wow, now we're both in the hole. I know exactly how you feel. Where empathy is, all right, you're in a bad spot from my point of view. I can see that. I don't understand it 100%, but let me give you a hand up, right? Let me open the door for you. Let me help you out. Let me point you in the right direction. That's where I'm at in my life, because you need to figure it out. You might need help along the way, but you can't do it for you. You have to understand that pain, that suffering that you're going through, whatever it is, self-inflicted or not, whatever is true for you, there's a reason you're going through it. And there's a master plan out there. And what you have to do is not wander aimlessly. You have to look at this adversity and figure out, okay, from here, I'm going to develop a goal, a reason. What's my purpose? Then I'm going to apply massive action. I know I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep working things on a regular basis where I'm going to start to live in accomplishment. My publisher, a while back, we had an argument and I kept writing stuff and sending it to her. And she's like, this is all great, but you need to put it all together so that you can live in accomplishment. And I got she's an author herself. And she ended up taking some of the things that I wrote and put them in her own project, which I was pretty upset about. And we terminated the relationship. But I will say this, that person said I had some greatness in the things that I wrote, but I just got to tie it together. I have to live in accomplishment. And there's a gift to that. She's the one that also told me too, is that I think you're addicted to chaos because of your schedule. This no comfort zone can be chaos. You have to find a no comfort zone in being calm. And she was right. There was a lot of lessons learned when I was with her. But I want that for you too. If you have a goal based on how you've lived and you want more and you want to be in a certain area, yeah, you're going to have to ask for spiritual help. You're going to have to ask for family support. And as long as you do the next right thing and you keep working towards it, help or no help, eventually you're going to get there. Socrates said 3 steps to setting a goal is identify what it is that you want, pull all of your resources together, and keep working until you achieve the desired result. It's that simple. And the reason why you're not successful, folks, the reason why you haven't gotten to a certain point is, quite frankly, this, or the reason why you're not feeling fulfilled, I should say, because you very well might have success. But success for me is defined as working towards a worthy ideal and having fulfillment in the process. And if you're not having fulfillment, or if you're finding that you're not successful, I just want to share with you that maybe it's not a priority for you. Something nice to talk about, but to actually do on a consistent and daily basis and every day, every time, without fail, no exception kind of a thing. Well, there's not many people that can do that. And that's okay. Even if you do it every other day, you're still better than most. Even if you have a goal and you have it written down and you know the reasons why, just take a step in the right direction. Something I did recently, I used to do it a long time ago. I was trying to make a documentary, and I did. And the subject of my documentary wanted all the video rights and everything back. And rather than actually publish it, it did not work out, but it was a lesson learned. Make sure that you choose the right subject matter. So the person that I was working with wasn't with the most stable, good guy, good person, but it didn't work out. They got angry at me and they wanted everything back. So I gave them everything back and no documentary. But what I would do is I took out a graph sheet of paper. And on that graph sheet of paper, what I ended up doing was I had what you'd call, like, I'd take a highlighter out and I would write down documentary. And then I would color in a dot. So every day that I did something towards that, I just color in a dot until the whole page was colored in. I don't know how many dots there are, but it was quite a few actually. Worked out pretty good for me because I was able to complete a lot of it. And then we went to distribution, and that's when all of the stuff had turned around on me. Anyway, that's for another day. So that's craziness. When it comes down to you not maybe thinking it's a priority or not, you just have to realize that what are the top 3 things that you can do right now? I've talked about it before that I don't know, maybe it was Thomas Edison or Andrew Carnegie, one of the greats, all-time greats when it came to personal success and development. They had said the key to riches, or the key to success, is to write down 6 things that you're going to do the next day and complete those 6 things. So I'll ask you here on the podcast, what are your 6 priorities? Maybe one of them is actually to send me an email, dan@thenocomfortzone.com, and talk about your story. Let's talk about your success. Let's talk about your failures. Let's learn from those failures. Let's talk about it, have a conversation so other people can hear your story so that you might be able to help them find their purpose and realize that we're not in this alone. Because that story that happened to you, somebody else might be going through it. And what I figured out not so long ago, if you're at point A and somebody else is at point A and you've gotten to point B, you just have to help them get to point B where you're already at. It's not rocket science. If you've already beat addiction and you know how to do it, well, then go for it. Teach that other person how to actually beat addiction. Work with them. It's that simple. What did you do to become sober? What did you do to become great in sales? What did you do to become a great husband? What did you do to become a great parent? What are those things that make you feel fulfilled? I mean, it's something as simple as that. Living your best life. What does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what, this journey in your life ain't about you anymore. And the most exciting part about it that I can tell you is this, is when you discover what it is you truly want and you're working towards that ideal and you're fulfilled in the process and you have the support of your friends and family around you, that's magic. That's so hard to find. And if you don't have that, maybe you need to change your playground and find some other different people to hang out with. You know, maybe that's just something that you need to do. Maybe that's a comfort zone. You're getting the acceptance of people that don't really value you as much as you thought. And I'll tell you what, reaching out in a show like this or on social media, there's plenty of people. There are plenty of people that want to hear your story. I can just tell you that. Plenty of people. And I'd love to share your story with as many people as would be able to listen. I'm going to close on this. If you're going towards your goal and you're looking for fulfillment, here's what I want you to do. I want you to document your time. So if you're going to get up at 5 in the morning and you're going to account for your time, what do you do from 5 to 5:15 in those 15 minutes? Do that for a day and see how much wasted time you have. See where your thoughts go. See where your actions go. And then line up your priorities with the time that you spend. That'll tell you where you're successful. It's crazy, but in the No Comfort Zone blueprint that I share with you on the call, if you go to thenocomfortzone.com, we talk about that. You'll be amazed within 4 hours of your day how much time and energy you can spend focused on one thing to achieve that goal quicker than ever before. And that's the experience that a lot of people actually end up achieving. I hope this podcast served you well. I hope you're not wandering aimlessly around. I hope you're living on purpose by finding what's important to you through your adversity and going after your goals. And more importantly, if you know of somebody that has a story, send them my way. Dan@thenocomfortzone.com, or even you yourself. I appreciate you listening, and remember, your life won't begin until You get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at NoComfortZone1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.